Attorney General Jeff Sessions ordering judges to speed up the process of deporting illegal immigrants. Sessions says cases should only be postponed for good cause shown. Meanwhile, across the border, Mexico's murder rate reaches its highest level in decades. Joining us now is Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Ken, thanks for coming on the program this morning. First of all, address that the murder rate in Mexico reaching its highest level in decades.
Yeah, and I think that hits the point of why border security is so important. I think that's why the president has been pushing this. As the crime rate in Mexico has gone up, it affects us in Texas every single day, and we keep statistics showing that that is exactly what's going on. We are being affected by the crime rate in Mexico.
So, is Jeff Sessions and this administration, are they taking the right steps here?
I could not applaud him more. I mean, I think the backlog is something like 600,000 cases. I don't even think that's fair to people in the system who are trying to get through and get their status figured out. I don't think it's fair to people in my state. I don't think it's fair to anybody. It needs to be sped up. There does not need to be a backlog of that many cases.
So, Ken, what do you say to critics who look at this, and there are many of them, who say that this just goes too far?
You know, I don't really understand that, because why would we not want to speed the process up? I don't see any downside to anybody in the process. If I'm in the process, I want to get this resolved as fast as possible. I want to get my status determined so that if I'm allowed to stay in this country, I can move on with my life. If I'm not, I want to move on with my life, back in my home country.
The president has insisted that he wants to fix what he sees as a very broken immigration system after some time in office now. Ken, how do you think it's going?
You know, what I appreciate is he's focused on this more than any U.S. president that I can remember. He's talked more about the wall, trying to get funds for the wall, which I think is essential. He's talked more about adding border agents, which I think is essential. He's talked about increasing our ability with technology to protect our border. He's really made this a big focus of his administration, and as a border state, obviously it affects us, and I've appreciated the efforts.
So, Ken, when you look at the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, taking these steps and issuing this order to speed up these deportation of illegal immigrants, and some of the critics say it goes too far, what do you worry about as far as unintended consequences of a move like this?
You know, I mean, obviously, you've got to make sure that these people, as they go through the process, that they're treated fairly. And you want judges making good decisions. So you don't want so much pressure on a judge that they can't make the right decision. On the other hand, we know that this is taking too long. That the other unintended consequences is that you have people in the process way too long, and that has an impact on their lives. And so, you know, there's a balance here, and hopefully we can get closer to the balance that we need to have.
Sounds like you like what you're seeing from this administration, and obviously November midterms coming up. Do you worry about the political implications of the timing of all of this? Last word to you.
You know, I think people in my state, wherever they came from, want a fair process, and they want a fast process so that people can get their status determined. So as long as it's fair and faster, I think really no one can complain.
Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, thank you for joining us this morning.
Have a great day. Thanks.
21 past the hour. In a moment, the remains of a 3-year-old boy found on that ranch in New Mexico. We'll take you there live to find what's happening in that case in a moment. Also this, Sandra?
A father on TV days ago pleading for the safe return of his family, now leading investigators to a heartbreaking discovery. We'll have the details on that investigation.